Hi, we're Pastor Dave and Dee Dee Thompson from Gateway Ministries in Golden, Colorado. We are actually Casper and Cheryl's pastors.
They not only attend our church, but you know what else they do? They conduct marriage workshops, they conduct retreats, and they provide marriage counseling for our whole church family. Very powerful and life-changing.
If we want a good marriage, you walk into that marriage because it's already a good marriage. You just have to walk in the way to make it a good marriage. It's almost as simple as that. The thing that complicates it is us. But we're the complication, not God, not Jesus. They got it all figured out. We win. Skip to the end of the book. We win. If you skip to the end of your marriage book, you win. The only way you don't win is if you put yourself in the middle of it. But if you get yourself out of it and put God and Jesus in it, it's over. You win.
You don't need to mad.
No.
You don't need to fuss. You don't need to fight. Jesus sees, hears, and knows all things. And he knows whatever triggers, whatever brokenness is happening in your spouse that may be hindering them. He knows when the enemy is influencing them to stumble, causing your spouse to stumble. He knows all that. So when you speak life instead of death, you will get the result of life instead of death.
We just got back from a couple of weeks ago filming and appearing on their TV show for season 2, Winning with Love.
Wow.
Their TV studios are in Dallas, Texas.
And what phenomenal facilities. They're just tremendous. Tune in and watch their TV show and make sure to have them host a marriage retreat or seminar at your church.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IAM Love Builders Show. We are your hosts, Casper and Cheryl Stockham, and we are so happy to be with you today. And we just want to give a great big shout out to all of our partners, all of our broadcast partners, and to those who are watching us for the first time. Welcome. For those who are returning, thank you for coming back and being with us. I Am Love Builders is a show that's dedicated to all things dealing with relationships and communication. It doesn't matter if you're married or single. Our heart's desire is that you will become an MVP. That's the most valuable player in your relationship or marriage. We want to see you thrive because we believe that if you are not having fun, you are not doing it right.
Absolutely. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors. And Cheryl and I have a TV show called Winning with Love, the second season of that. And you can find that on Zondra TV Network, the Zondra TV Network. So the first season was about couples, married couples.
Yes.
Second season, we kind of opened it up to singles as well. So that was a lot of fun. You can check that out on the Zondra TV Network. We also, so we're in the top 6, well,
Top
10. We're number 6 in the top 10 shows on the network.
Right.
So that's kind of exciting. Now, the first season, we won the Zonti Award for our category. And it's just like it's like the People's Choice Award kind of deal for Zondra TV. This season, we're number 6 out of 10 on that network. We also have a lot of media services we provide with Zondra TV Network, the TV advertising, podcast promotion. We can even help you with a movie production if you're interested in doing that. So let us know if you're interested. We are, speaking of movies, we are now currently fundraising for our movie. So we're going to launch a movie called Mastering Adam and Eve, the movie. Super excited about that. So we're doing some fundraising for that right now. You can go to iamlovebuilders.net/media to get more information about helping us with that endeavor. We also have a lot of services we provide. We have a micro network. And so if you have a podcast that's sitting on YouTube or wherever it's sitting, if you want to get more exposure for that podcast, we can put it up, that same show, just put it up on our micro network, and you get access to over 850 million homes through the Zondra TV network. So that's an option. We also have Go Shop America. It's going to be coming live, I think, the end of this month, to where you can put your product or service up on the Go Shop America.
Yes.
And get a lot of exposure for it. we put our book series up there.
Mhm.
So Mastering Adam and Eve book series is going to be featured on Go Shop America. It's kind of like a QVC of
Yes,
sorts.
it's like a QVC HSN. However, it's more for the solopreneur, entrepreneur. You don't have to have 10 million of your product. You may only have five of your, I mean, not five, 100,
Yeah,
25,
50, whatever.
50
Yeah.
of your product.
Mhm.
That way they will run it just like it's a QVC or HSN,
Mhm.
and then you will be able to get your products or your service or whatever you have
Mhm.
sold.
Yep, absolutely. And that's our book series that's on Amazon right now, Mastering Adam, Mastering Eve, and Mastering Adam and Eve. And we are launching a new book called The Marriage Constitution. We're going to have a big celebration on the 5th of July, this coming 5th of July. We're going to have speakers coming in. We're going to have music. We're going to have fun. We got prize giveaways. We got some pop-in guests coming in. It's going to be a fun time.
Mhm.
Now, the book is going to be available on the 4th, but this is going to happen on the 5th of July for our
For the launch.
for the launch. Yeah. And we have an MVP Love Hub. You really want to get connected to all the stuff we're doing. You can get that through the hub. And you can start that process just by going to our Facebook group and joining our Facebook group, get a lot of information, and then transition over into the hub. And we are sponsored by Miracle Pay. These guys have perfected paying for your goods and services right at the counter using crypto.
Mhm.
So they have a Miracle Paid terminal, or they have software downloaded onto the terminal that's already there, and then you can use your crypto to pay for your goods and services, just like you would your credit card or debit cards. That's kind of exciting. All right, so if you notice, our background is there's a lot of stuff going on back there. Like, we got banners and everything, but
But the one thing we want you to pay attention to is this quilt.
yeah,
Uh,
what's
I
about?
know it's kind of backwards because of the camera.
No, it's not backwards to them.
It's not backwards to them.
It's on.
So this is a quilt in which my husband was honored
Mhm.
on yesterday by an organization that honors vets.
Mhm.
And they actually came to the house and
Yep.
presented him with this beautiful quilt. And there's a group of ladies, they support veterans, and they actually quilt this. They
Yeah.
made this quilt, and it is absolutely beautiful. When you see it in person, it's stunning. And so they give this to veterans all over
Country.
the country.
Mhm.
Because I guess they have different organizations that do, same organization but different um, groups in different states, perhaps.
Yeah, different groups in different states. They honor the veterans that are local to them, so
Yeah.
they can deliver the quilt to them.
Mhm. And they these ladies, they're quilters, and so they use their time and their talent, and they make these quilts. And if you are interested, please contact us if you would like to donate to them. If you have fabric or batting or something, so that they can continue to make these quilts. When you see this in person, it is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, if you have a veteran in your family, reach out to the Quilts of Honor. I wish I had their website or their card. Maybe we can grab that during the break and give them the website.
Okay.
But if you have a veteran in your family, you can honor them by having a quilt made for them
Mhm.
in their honor. And even on the back of it, they have a little plaque, a label with the veteran's name and everything. So it's a really, really cool product. And then we have our little
Yes.
award here.
Our award, our
We are
Guinness-
officially amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see on
Yeah,
the screen.
I don't know if I can come up closer
Yeah,
to
go
the camera.
closer to the screen and make sure they see that.
All right.
And our MVP guest today, Philip, also was with us in Philadelphia, and we had the honor of being Guinness Book record holders for the most authors signing the same book simultaneously.
Yes.
Now, it wasn't physically the same book, like we didn't pass around to 247 people.
I know every time I say that, people's like,
We're
really?
the same book.
Wow.
No, we had tables, and there was a book on each table, and there was about 10 of us on each table signing that book.
Yes.
And then we took that book up to the front, and they counted it all up, and it came up to, what was it? 147.
The
I think
original,
it says it on there.
the
147.
original was done in 142.
142.
So the first record was set in Canada, and I guess maybe about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was 120
something.
and so we broke the record.
All right, we are out of time for this segment. We're going to bring up our MVP guests up right after this quick message. And you are watching I Am Love Builder Show with Casper and Cheryl, and we'll be right back in just a moment. All right, we are back with the I Am Love Builder Show. Casper and Cheryl, just a little fun little video we made using AI. Of course, everything is made with AI.
I need that AI body. I need to figure out how to
that
get
body.
that. Every time I see that, I think, I need that body.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to our daughter Cherie. She's watching.
Hi, Cherie. We love you.
Yes, yes. All right, so let's bring up our guests all the way from. He'll tell us where these guys are from. Where you guys from, Philip?
Bellevue, Washington, near Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Very good. Very good.
Now we have a reason to go to Washington.
There you go.
That's right.
Woo-hoo. I'm always looking for some place to go.
So we're
It's
honored to
gorgeous here in the summer. No place like it.
Yeah, yeah. You can actually see the sun in the summer.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's out
Okay.
today, shining bright.
Okay, because I've been to Portland, Oregon, and I was flying in. The sun was shining, and then we dropped down below the clouds, and then I never saw the sun again until I left.
Sounds about
Okay.
right.
That sounds about right.
So what happened to the sun? We got a lot to unpack, Phil, because you were with us a couple of weeks ago in Philadelphia. So we'll talk about that, here in a minute. But our show is about relationships, so we love to hear about your love story. How did you guys meet? What was the courtship like? What was the dating like? Tell us anything you want to share about your.
Tell us about that beautiful lady that's to your side there.
Definitely my better half for sure. This woman, I would be at a loss without her for sure. If I didn't have her by my side. She makes me want to be a better man every day. As far as how we met, boy, God pulled me out of a really dark time and dropped me in a college group at the age of 28. It was called College and Beyond, nicknamed CAB. And I was coming in and she was kind of more in the beyond part.
I was in the beyond. That's it.
And I came in, I really didn't notice her at all. Other than she was at the door. She said, hi. I said, hi, how are you? Great. Okay. Move on. And that was about the extent of our conversation for the better part of a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And, then it seemed like about 6 or 7 of the different couples in that group all decided to get married. And there was like 6 or 7 weddings back to back to back to back, all on one summer. And so being friends in similar groups, we were at those friends' weddings separately.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one particular wedding where we showed up and we had the longest conversation we'd had in a couple of years. It was maybe 5 or 10 minutes long. And coming out of that, I could not get her out of my mind. Every time I turn around, I was thinking about her. I'm just wondering what she's doing. And I just kind of see her face in my, imagery in my mind. And
Mm-hmm.
it was driving me bonkers because I had just had a really ugly relationship issue. And I had pretty much said, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life and
I hear you.
forget trying to ever have any relationship ever. Really kind of thought my life was ruined at that point. And I couldn't get her out of my mind for 2 solid weeks. It drove me mad. So I finally called my pastor. I'm like, this is not okay. I'm really frustrated now. What should I do? He took me out to lunch. We sat down. I told him the story, and he basically said, well, you should call her. And I'm like, what? No, you're supposed to tell me, like, go get in your prayer closet, spend more time with Jesus, read more of your Bible. It's supposed to be like spiritual. Give me something, tell me what I should do. Not, I think you should call her. So I tried to find a phone number. I tried to call her, and now everybody knows that I'm looking for her phone number. And I end up getting a hold of her. I call her up and stumble all over my words, which never happened to me before.
Hello.
Ever. I could be pretty smooth when I wanted to, but I was stumbling all over my words when I called her. I ended up asking her to play Hello Dolly at the local theater, and she said yes. And we ended up having it was a decent evening.
Yeah.
You want to add something to that?
Yeah, you want to share your thoughts on all that?
Yeah. Well, I like I said, I was in the Beyond part of the college group. And I didn't do much dating, prior to that. And I wasn't really looking. But I remember when he called me and wanted to know if I, wanted to go to the theater, and I said, okay, let's go. So that was our first date. I think our second date, we ended up going to a baseball game.
Oh, hang on. Who called who for that second date?
Well, yeah, that was me. It just happened to come up. My roommate had a friend of hers who had some extra tickets, and so we ended up going to the Mariners game. I called him. The game was super short, and we ended up getting there late, and so we ended up, I knew when we left the game we weren't headed home because it was so early. So we ended up going down to this little beach area, Juanita Beach, and just talking. And we sat on the swings. I think we got eaten alive by mosquitoes.
My gosh, the bugs were terrible that night. But we sat out there for 2 or 3, 4 hours, just sitting on the swings and the play equipment and just talking, pouring out our hearts and telling our life story. And it was crazy.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, we're gonna pick up the story right after this next break here. You are watching I Am Love Builder Show with Casper and Cheryl and our special MVP guest in studio. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Let's rewind thousands of years to a time before money existed. How did people pay? A sack of wheat, some heavy metal, or maybe a live chicken? Trying to fit a chicken in your wallet? Not ideal. Luckily, financial revolutions followed one another, bringing us to the present day. And today, a new revolution begins. Miracle Pay. So, what is Miracle Pay? It's your innovative, secure, and transparent way to accept payments in any cryptocurrency. Why blockchain? Because it's decentralized. No more bank bureaucracy, no more endless paperwork. And security? It's not controlled by a few guys in a suit. It's secured by hundreds of millions of people across thousands of nodes worldwide. With Miracle Pay, you can get paid anywhere. Whether you're selling ice cream on a glacier in Alaska or selling hot tea in the middle of the Sinai Desert. We might question your business model, but never your payment system. 24/7 security, 99.9% uptime, and support for over 100 wallets. Miracle Pay is your trusted blockchain partner. Join Miracle Pay today. Integrate the future of payments into your business right now.
All right, we are back with the I Am Love Builder Show. Casper and Cheryl. We have a special MVP guest in studio, Mr. Philip and Kristen Brittain, just like the country. Right.
With an extra T.
With the extra T.
So, guys, tell me this. Are you all both from Washington State? Is that where you both are from, or did you migrate there?
Born in California, mostly lived in Oregon, came up to Washington in 2000 for my college program.
Mm-hmm.
So Northwest for sure.
I was
Right.
pretty much born and raised in Washington, mainly Eastern Washington, born in Spokane, grew up in Tri-Cities, moved to the Seattle area in fall of 98 and pretty much been here since.
Wow.
So how long have you all been married?
We're
18 years
coming
here
up
in a couple weeks.
That's right.
Okay, but,
really?
Okay, but I want to know, second date though. You had a second date, and then how did things progress from that?
So the second date, I remember sitting on the swings and we were talking, and God pretty much told me no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's your wife. And I went, oh, okay. All right, here we go. So I knew on our second date, it took her about 3 years before she figured it out.
What is up with ladies with this slow drag? I'm like, I knew after our first date, I said yes, and she's like, I don't think so.
Yep. So I planned the proposal. I planned several different proposals, and each time kind of got close to that point and went, no, she's not ready. So I'd go back and I'd increase the ring size, the size of the diamonds. All right, I got more time to pay this sucker. We're gonna just prep a little longer, prep a little longer. And we ended up getting married in July 13th, 2008.
Oh, wow.
Very good. Awesome. Well, happy anniversary coming up.
Yeah.
It's good.
So tell me, do we have children? And what has our life been like in these last 18 years?
I mentioned that I had a bad relationship issue just before we met. I had found out that I was going to be a dad outside of wedlock. And that ended up being a really ugly situation. A lot of ugly custody battle. I ended up gaining full custody of my son at the age of 16 after his mom disappeared at the age of 12, accused me of doing horrible things to my own son. Wow. Took me 4 years to clear it up and find her and locate and then go through the court system. And I finally won full custody, brought him home at 16. Wow. And God completely changed that situation around. He went from, I hate you, you're not my dad, I don't want anything to do with you, to now, hey, I love you, and knocking on the door at 8:30 at night, bringing me my favorite DQ Blizzard, saying, hey, I just want to come hang out for a couple hours. I love you. I want to spend some time. Right. So he just turned 21 back in March, and he's living close enough that we can say hi. And so we got a great relationship now, but we got married. We have 3 together.
Okay.
So our oldest just finishing her freshman year of high school. She's going to be 15 here in a week.
Wow. Very
and then we have one, our daughter Liberty is actually, we're going to her 5th grade promotion tomorrow. So she'll be headed to middle school. And then our youngest, our boy, is just finishing 3rd grade, just turned 9 here this spring. So
we got 3 different kids at 3 different schools, elementary, middle school, and high school. So
all right.
We're busy.
Yeah.
I'll say.
You're in the stage of being a chauffeur.
This is true.
Oh man, are we ever?
Yeah, if it's not music, concerts, or soccer, or gymnastics, youth group, all of those. We got a big whiteboard with everybody's schedule just
on
to
it.
kind of make it work, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
But these are the times, to make it work, but also, and it sounds like you guys know this already, not to forget each other in the process, not to lose each other, I guess, in the process, right? Because we have
Yep.
couples that we coach and stuff for, our marriage coaching, and they put so much into the children and into the kids that they forget about
Each other.
They you just okay. Are you taking Billy to thing? Okay, I'm taking Sally over here, and then they never come together as a couple.
Yep.
And then when the kids grow up and move away, some of them get divorced. And I think that just really breaks my heart to be married 30, 40, 50 years. And all of a sudden now you want a divorce. And especially because they didn't stay in touch with one another.
Yeah.
Yep. Their identity's wrapped up in the kids. And when the kids disappear, they don't know who they are anymore.
Right.
Yep.
So tell me, what exciting things do Philip and Kristen do?
Stay connected. What do you guys do?
Oh my
What do you like
gosh.
to do?
We love to travel. We've been fortunate over the last 15 years or so. We get we like to do a lot of leadership conferences, and we're always looking to grow and read and discuss new things. But going to leadership conferences at least 3 to 4 times a year gives us a chance to get away, take a weekend, and go grow together,
reconnect
and reconnect and get away from the kids and just have our time together and have a couple of nights away and travel and talk on the plane and take notes and discuss whatever it was that we were learning or going through. So that's been a big key thing for us.
Yeah, it's super important, and it's not that we don't love our children. We love them to death, but we need that time, right? Just when we went to Philadelphia, it was Cheryl and my time to get away from the routine, day-to-day routine, and just kind of hang out. So we went to Philly a day early and hung out there even before the event that we all attended, just to kind of just hang out, right, and walk around the city and all that. Speaking of which, we're going to take a quick break. I want to show you a video about our time in Philadelphia, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Oh, that was a lot of fun in Philly, and Philip was there with us. What happened? What did I do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that.
There we go.
But I do wrong. So that was a lot of fun in Philly, and now what's
There we go.
There we are.
Yeah. And I didn't get it. I didn't take a picture with you, Philip. I don't know what I was thinking. There's so many people there going on, and
It was kind of like a little bit of chaos,
right.
controlled chaos, but it was chaos.
Yeah, controlled chaos. That's a perfect word for it. Yeah, but it was a great time. Did you have any thoughts about any of that you wanted to share?
I thought Philadelphia was awesome. Getting to meet a lot of people that, I had really only met on a virtual screen like this. You get to have some of these conversations, and you start to build some of these relationships with folks, but actually meeting them for the first time, most of them, in fact, for the first time in person in Philadelphia was a real treat for me. I think one of the biggest things for me about coming away from the trip to Philly was that I got to invite my younger sister. See, I'm the oldest of 4 kids. Okay. I got to invite my youngest sister, Jen, on that trip, and she got to join us. And so for me, having my younger sister do the same thing was a real treat. Being there, I got to spend some time with my younger sister who lives in Texas. I don't get a chance to see her very often. Right. So it had been 2, maybe 3 years since I'd seen her last. So it's really, really cool to catch up with her. She's a new author, and her first solo book launched the day after we got back from Philly. So it was a real treat to have her there and present, and get a chance to introduce her to all these amazing people that I've known for, the last 6-8 months or so.
Yeah. Because I know you and I met online through the different networking groups and stuff, and we've been talking for easily 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And Emilio, he was going around and said, he kept saying, my Facebook friends are real. These are my Facebook
friends.
Are real.
Yeah. You do exist. You're not an AI figment of my imagination. This is awesome.
Right. Exactly. No, it was a great time. So Philip, in our networking groups, you talk about a lot of things that you do for coaching and counseling and stuff like that. Kind of give us a look. I'm going to try to pull up your website here. Let's see if I can find it now. There it is. Kind of tell us about some of the things you do.
So the victory framework was really born out of a lifetime of God teaching me how to build my own confidence. Because as a young child growing up, I had no confidence. I was the kid in school that got beat up and bullied and picked on. When the bell rang, I ran for my life. I had no self-esteem whatsoever. And, it all stemmed from when I was homeschooled before second grade. Second grade was my first public school experience. I had wet the bed and showed up to school smelling like urine, and everybody backed away. And they called me stanky. And from that time, it was horrible. I didn't have any confidence, and God has used a number of things to teach me confidence growing up. And then about 15 years ago, I got into a leadership engine, and that helped me produce. Now I understand what God was teaching me. And over the last 15 years, all of that kind of culminated what God was teaching me, and then what I was learning in leadership as to why what God taught me worked and how.
Right.
And so the victory framework is really that culmination of work, where God finally called me to put away my construction company and step into full-time speaking as a keynote and workshop speaker. Now I teach the victory framework, how to build unshakable confidence, how to forge that confidence from the inside out. because internal victories precede external victories every time. If you're feeling stuck and you're not getting to that level, you're not able to hit that breakthrough. You're not able to, you're not clear on your vision or your identity or the authority that you carry. You're not going to be succeeding at a level that you want. And so the Victory Training Network and the system that I now use is designed to help you forge that confidence from the inside out. And I walk people through the program, and after they go through it, then we hold a sword ceremony, and I give them a sword as a representation that you have been forged in the fires of life, that you have gone through the heat and the fire, that you've come out, that you've been pounded and pressed and folded and beaten into shape. You've been hardened. You're flexible, but you're sharp. You've got a sharp edge, and you then gain all of the beautiful things that make you presentable as now a tool that God can use for his kingdom and what he has as a set aside purpose and mission for your life. And so I've got 3 basic ways to get involved with that. There's a community-based aspect. Then there's a cohort, which is just a tight-knit group. I take 12 people through at a time, and it is iron sharpening iron, super tight-knit. And then we go to that third deeper level, which is a one-on-one, which includes all of the others, and really go deep and get specific to the individual needs, where they need help. And I've got an assessment that I offer as a gift for your listeners. They can go to iwantvictory.com/gift. And I've got a self-assessment that will walk them through the victory framework and kind of give it an idea of where they might need to focus more attention. Okay. And so you just register for the gift there, and then it takes you to the actual app.
Okay. Very good. When I think about the making of a sword, the starting with that block of steel and heating it up, and then the pounding that has to happen. We don't want to do, we don't want to be
the pounding part. Can we skip over this part right here?
Well, it's you have to go into the fire first and be in the fire long enough and hot enough that you cease to be rigid, that you become pliable and malleable. So that when you come out of the fire, now you can be beaten. Now you can be pounded and folded and pressed. And as you start to cool, you get a little more rigid. You have to go back in the fire, and you repeat this process over and over and over. Yeah. And one of our mentors, Lori Woodward, says the lesson continues until the lesson is learned. And it really speaks to that forging process where you have to go into the fire and then back onto the anvil and under the hammer over and over and over and over. And you have to repeat that process until you take the proper shape. Only then can you be quenched and go through the hardening process. And then you can be sharpened and maintain that sharp edge. Then you get the beautification. Then you get the leather and the colored fabrics and the gold inlays, and you get the stamp from the smith, right? You get the sheath and the beautiful gold ornamental, and then you can be handed over and presented as a beautiful tool or weapon that is now usable for the purpose it was created.
Yeah. Hey, we ran over on break, so we're going to take a quick break here. You're watching I Am Love Builder Show with Casper and Cheryl. We'll be right back in just a moment.
We were done. Not angry anymore, just done. That's the part nobody warns you about. When the fighting stops and there's just, then one night, everything changed. I can't explain it in a way that makes sense to anyone else, but someone was there, and they handed me a book.
I had my own moment. Different room, different night, same thing.
Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing.
started to see him again. Not the man I was angry at, the man God designed me to be.
Every page was like a mirror, showing me who I was supposed to be for her and how far I drifted. We didn't just fix our marriage.
We found our purpose.
Every marriage has a bill of rights.
We're here to help you find yours.
Love builders for life. Casper and Cheryl producing MVPs. Love builders for life.
All right, we are back with the I Am Love Builder show. Casper and Cheryl and our special MVP guest in studio, and we were talking about your program, Philip. As you put this together, do you have any faith interwoven in there? Is there a forging on the faith side as well?
Oh yeah, it's the whole thing is faith. Just to give you a kind of a sneak peek into the victory framework, V is for vision and I is for identity, and both of those are interwoven. When you understand who you are in Christ as a son or daughter of Christ, and you understand the authority that you have as a son or daughter of Christ, when you start to blend that in and look at your vision along with your identity, you begin to get a glimpse of your purpose and the reason you're here and the thing that God has intended for you to do, the lives that God has for you to affect in this world. And they're interwoven together in many ways. And it is very, very grounded in scripture and faith and what God has in store for you, and identifying really what is that for you as an individual. What does God say about you?
Philip,
So
I don't know
that is the foundation for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I missed it or not, but was there a point that led you to developing this program of victory?
Yes. In fact, it was a moment that I had in a hotel room in Nigeria. I've had the opportunity to go speak in Nigeria several times. I've got a good friend who runs an international Christian business organization called Marketplace Apostles.
Oh,
And every year he holds a exhibition and conference. And he asked me for years and years and years to come speak. And every year I would turn him down and I'd turn him down. And finally I said, okay, well, I'm not going to go to Nigeria, but I'll show up virtually for you. I did that for a few years. And then, January or February would come around once again. Hey, Philip, please come speak to my people. And it was like the Holy Spirit just looked me dead in the eye and said, hello, knucklehead, I'm talking to you. And I said, oh, okay, I'll go. And God shifted there. I went back a second time, 2 amazing trips. But it was that second trip there that I really had a wake up call, and God literally said, I didn't call you to wear a tool belt. I called you to use your voice. Now go and speak. And it was in that same moment that God downloaded the victory framework into my spirit. And I was trying to feverishly download and write everything that God was downloading into my spirit. And when I came home, I told my wife, I'm like, listen to this, check this out. This is crazy. And, she had a hard time keeping up with it. Wait, C was what? So, so as I began to talk through it and work through it, God has began to, he continues to give me more insights and clarity on even some of these things, like understanding it's not just the victory framework, but it literally is the victory framework in the forge of life.
Mm-hmm.
And then he added that the next layer, which is understanding the purification process, the refiner's fire, before you even get to the forge.
Right.
And so the Holy Spirit continues to reveal new insights to me all the time and clarify the message in new ways and help me shift the way things are phrased and the verbiage that's used. So it continues to evolve as God reveals new things through the process and the different lives that are affected by it. And, you know, the goal is to really help Christian business leaders identify those areas. Why are they stuck? You know, they've built a great business, but God's calling them to something bigger and they're scared to step out because they have something already built. That's where I was. I had a construction company and God said, no, I called you to something else. You know, it takes faith and courage to step out and say, I'm going to put that aside, even though there's a level of I'm okay. And when you step out, all right, Lord, I hope there's something solid as my foot comes down, because right now I don't see anything solid. I'm going to fall flat on my face if you don't show up. So it takes learning how to trust God, and that's part of the T for trust in the victory framework. And so it really is that next step where a lot of Christian business owners are feeling called to more, but they're scared to take that step. Or they're hitting a ceiling and they don't know how to step out. They don't know how to identify that purpose in their life.
Right.
They've built something of their own, but it doesn't really feel like that's what they were meant to do, called to do. That's not their real ultimate purpose. And so how do you identify that and pull that out of somebody's heart and mind and help them see what it is that God's called them to do?
Yeah. Understood. That's very good, because you're right. Sometimes we get stuck and we get comfortable. And so even the thought of doing something new or different, or, you know, a lot of times it's like, okay, God, but that's not what I thought. You know,
that's not what I was looking for, God. Don't you know what I want?
Like,
God says, yeah, I know what you want, but that's not what you need.
Right. And it does take courage to step out. And if you're already not quite sure who you are in Christ, then it is difficult to take that first step and just believe by faith that God's going to be there when you take that first step. That he's actually, the scripture says he's ordering your steps in the way that you should go.
Yep, exactly.
And just to trust that, though, because trust is a big factor.
Big factor.
It sounds like the people you've been able to help, or the people you're looking for, are people who, you know, they may be successful in business, but they may also feel like they're not really fulfilling God's purpose in what they're doing, and they want to figure out how to make it all work together. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Or they're feeling stuck and they don't know how to break through. You know, but a lot of times it boils down to there's some internal victories that they haven't seen, and therefore they're not seeing the external victories. They have things in their life that, you know, from trauma or hurt or pain, or you know, they haven't learned how to grieve well. They haven't learned how to forgive, or you know, there's something that is internal that is holding them back, whether emotionally or spiritually, addictive behaviors, things that they're trying to numb the pain that they don't want to feel. And so they don't want to address something, and therefore it's holding them back and they don't realize it. So how do you get to that next level? Well, sometimes it's you got to deal with something that's holding you back from the past.
Right. I know when we talk to couples, we talk about the issues and then the hidden issues. So we always have to dig down and find out what the real issues is that's going on, because it's typically not, the socks being left on the floor. Is something else going on, and we have to dig down, figure out what it is, clean it all up, and then we can start to really start repairing that relationship.
Yeah, for us, one of the things that was a big revelation for me, and this is just even recently, was that as I continue to work through all of the trauma from my childhood, and all of the rejection that I felt in my childhood, when I feel rejected by my wife, when she's had her long days and she's just not there, when she's concerned about the laundry and the house and the kids and all the stress of work, being in the school system, and it's just chaos, her mental load and her what she feels responsible for is off the charts. And so I feel rejected when that happens, and it triggers me, and I didn't realize it, that it wasn't just simply me feeling rejected. It was me re-feeling again all of the rejection from my childhood, which for me, it hurt 100 times more than maybe somebody else.
Right. Right.
Because I'm projecting that pain and that hurt from my childhood that I haven't fully dealt with, even though I thought I had. It takes a marriage relationship sometimes to illuminate those things that we haven't fully dealt with properly. Right. And so that's one of those little things that, it may be nuanced, but when you come to that realization, you understand what's going on. It's like a light bulb moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So Kristen, he said something about school system. Do you work in the school system?
Yeah. So I just finished my 24th year as a middle school counselor.
Oh, very good.
At the same school.
Yep. I've been at the same school. So.
Oh, wow.
It's brutal. It's
what age?
So middle school. So we have 6, 7, and 8th grade. So roughly 11, 12, right in there.
Okay. All right.
So.
And what is the mental state of our children today?
That's a loaded question. How long is your show?
Well, we have 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, as you can only imagine, with social media and phones and that brought into the mix, and parents are wondering, there's no manual that comes with these kids, as they, the kids are more tech savvy than we are, these days. But, there's a lot of attention and behavior issues on top of the anxiety and those kind of things that impact, kids in schools, and the teachers just, it's very hard to keep their attention these days, and with large class sizes and more behavior problems, it becomes very, very difficult.
Well, I think we may need to have a part 2 where you guys switch seats and we kind of unpack the education system a little bit and kind of figure out how we can maybe help our children out, give some good input and some advice on that.
Yeah, because we believe that's why we need a strong marriage. There needs to be a mom and a dad. I mean, on the same page, because of all the challenges that our children are dealing with. And in a lot of cases, we have a lot of single parent homes, but that they don't do well. But there is a lot of pressure on that single parent, on top of the children. Now there's all the finances. So
Ugh.
we just want to we try our best
Yeah.
to sow seeds of well-roundedness for
Mhm.
everyone's mental state.
Yeah. Yeah. So Philip, so your website is iwantvictory.com, and you were talking about the other the gift. Was a gift at the end?
Yep. IWantVictory.com/gift. That's
Slash
where
gift.
you can register for the self-assessment app.
Yes, the self-assessment app, so people can reach out. They can do that and reach out to you from your website. Man, I really appreciate you guys being on, and I really am grateful to get to know you online, then in person, and now we're back online. We'll probably be in person.
And next
Yes.
time we want to meet you, Kristen, in
Yes.
person.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, always a
thank you for
pleasure.
being
Part
here.
2 sounds good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll have to do it. We'll have to do it. Hey, folks, you've been watching I Am Love Builder Show with Casper and Cheryl. Hey, we want you to go out and become MVPs, the most valuable partner in your marriage or relationship. And we want you to join us in our MVP Love Hub, because that's where the love starts to happen for sure. Hey, we will see you guys on the next show. Bye-bye for now.